Oh, there's a Twitter song. 8:22 on this Wednesday morning. Nora Ahern from Village & Company is here. Been looking forward to this chat for ages. We're friends. But she's taught me so much about social media. Thought, well, you should come on and help the masses, because there are still people who don't know what Twitter is. Tell us just in general what we're looking at, Twitter 101.
Twitter is like a dinner party. You know, you follow people or you invite your guests in and you have conversation, basically is what Twitter is for.
In 140 characters.
In 140 characters. The key to 140 characters is that includes your handle and includes any hashtags you use. So try not to go over 140 characters. Or
what happens if you do?
Your tweet will get cut off and Twitter will nicely put in a couple of dots, but it kind of looks a bit weird.
Right.
So try and stay away from that.
And when you're tweeting, how often should you tweet? Do you tweet?
I think to have a good presence on Twitter, kind of space your tweets out throughout the day, kind of morning, midday, late afternoon, and then sometimes if you're watching an event or watching television, it's good to stay involved on Twitter while you're doing that.
That's the quote-unquote live tweeting.
Live tweeting,
when
exactly.
you're watching a show going, are you watching Downton Abbey right now?
Yeah, exactly.
You got me on Downton Abbey. Okay, what are some of the don'ts? You shocked me with one when we were talking just in the break.
Yeah, try not to start your tweets with the @ symbol, because what that means is basically you're talking directly to somebody and only your followers and they will see it. If you put the period before the @ symbol, it means everybody can see it.
Hold on a second, wait a minute. So, okay, so I've made this mistake about 1,000 times. So if I do @Nora Ahern and then I tweet at you,
yeah,
it's only going to you?
It's going to me and your followers will see it, but if you put the period before it, everybody will see it.
Really?
So it just increases your visibility.
Of course, and that's what everybody wants.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, things start to go sideways. We've seen Keith Olbermann recently argue on Twitter. Yeah. We've seen a couple of Toronto Maple Leafs have arguments on Twitter. We shouldn't really be arguing on Twitter.
I would say have debate on Twitter, don't have a row. So it's a great place to call out a brand, or it's a great place to air a complaint or a grievance. But if it gets into a heated argument, I would take it offside. Like that dinner party, go outside and have the discussion there.
Right,
because it stays in your feed and it'll always be there. And it's just, even though the feed is quite perishable, it'll always be there.
So you can go through somebody's Twitter history all the way back to the beginning of when they...
Yeah, you can go back a good bit. If you want to find something, you can find it.
That's a little bit scary.
No, just...
For some.
Yeah.
If you make a mistake on Twitter, can you just delete it and does it go away?
You can delete it, but like as we know with digital, nothing ever disappears.
Okay, tell us how to grow. How do we use Twitter to grow our presence on social media? It's so valued now that people, what do they call it? Your influencer.
Your influencers.
Yeah.
To grow, the best thing to do is to follow, reply, retweet other people. So engage with other people like you want them to engage with you. That will increase your following. Share content that's of value to your followers, and they'll keep coming back and sharing your stuff. Use existing hashtags.
Oh, yeah. Like how many hashtags are appropriate?
I would say I wouldn't use more than 2 in a tweet because, again, back to that 140 characters, it takes up a lot of space. So find existing hashtags that are popular, like Follow Friday or Travel Tuesday or Throwback Thursday, which is a very popular one, and that would increase your visibility and following.
And if you go into where those hashtags are, you're going to find other people speaking in that same conversation.
Yeah, it's like a search term on Twitter. Just use the hashtag and you'll find all those conversations.
Now, when it comes to posting photos or videos, is that a good idea with your tweet?
Definitely. If you add a link or a photo or a video to your tweet, you've nearly 80% more chance of somebody engaging with that tweet.
And number one most important thing about your tone of voice on Twitter, what would that be?
Be yourself. At the dinner party, be authentic, be yourself, engage the way you would normally when you're having a conversation with somebody. And
if you use your Twitter for business, how much sell can you do, or how should you?
I think it's a good, healthy mix of, again, back to that, if you're having a conversation with somebody, you don't always hit them with a hard sell. You learn about them, share things that are of interest, and then when you find an opportune moment, then share the message that you want to put forward.
She's one of my favorite follows on Twitter. I'm not going to lie to you. Seriously, I steal most of the cool videos from Nora Ahern from Village & Company. You can follow her. Check out her website as well. The Village out there. Shout out to The Village. Everybody watching right now, we appreciate it. And honestly, I did not even know what Instagram was before I met Nora. We will have her on back to explain to you how that all works.